Good evening. There is an ongoing debate that's largely invisible to non-geeks, and it may have grave consequences for the future of humanity. The argument is about something called the singularity. And as caretakers of our children's future, it's important that we all have informed opinions about this topic, because everything that we value is potentially at risk. The first time the word singularity was used was by a science fiction writer named Vernor Vinge in the 1980s. And he envisioned a time in the not so distant future when, quote, human beings will have the technological ability to create superhuman intelligence. Shortly after, the human era will be over, end quote. And you might wonder why you should place any credence in what a science fiction writer wrote in the 1980s. But his sources were from very scholarly people, and one of them was a mathematician whose name was John von Neumann. And he envisioned many of the problems that we're encountering today all the way back in the 1950s. He proposed a theory that runaway technology would have a disruptive effect on the future of humanity. This was in the 1950s. He was a man definitely ahead of his time. And now it's believed that the threat of the singularity could come from a variety of technologies. And according to Nick Bostrom in his book, Superintelligence, most scientists these days are focusing on the thought that human beings will perfect machine intelligence, AI, till it is exactly like humans, has the same capability as humans. These AIs will be not only as smart as we are, but they will have goals and motivations. They'll even have memories and emotions. And then once they're created by people, these machine-made intelligent beings, or whatever we're going to call them, might actually be able to take the reins of their own development. And it's probable that they will be able to re-architect themselves. And with IQs in the thousands, these super beings are not going to be able to relate to their human creators anymore. We will be as insignificant to them as an ant is to us. And their goals are not likely to include our survival. So there are many people who scoff at this discussion, who think this is fake science. And there are many people who refuse to believe that their God would allow AIs to extinct the human race. And there are many very optimistic scientists who believe that they will be able to control the technology, that they will be able to keep it harnessed or to imbue it with a sense of reverence for human beings. But most of our credible scientists and technologists are worried. And if you're not worried, consider what some of them have to say. Stephen Hawking says, the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race. Bill Gates says that humans should be worried about the threats posed by artificial intelligence. And Elon Musk says that with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. Steve Wozniak says computers are going to take over from humans. So we must take this risk seriously. Each one of us needs to acquire knowledge so that we can be part of the bigger discussion and policy making around the adoption of this technology. I challenge everybody in this room tonight to learn more about this subject. Go home, Google superintelligence. Begin to read, begin to learn, and begin to worry. Thank you.